Hey, good morning, friends. I know I told you I would tell you a little bit about soul care and how you define soul care. And so, welcome. Thanks for taking the time to watch a little video. I have been reluctant to do social media, so here we are. So, if it can serve you in any way, that's my heart, my desire. So, I just want to demystify some of these buzzwords like spiritual formation, spiritual direction, soul care, that type of thing, and really just put it more in layman's terms. And so basically, in order to understand soul care, you've got to define what the soul is. And so a lot of where I've gotten my information from, scripture, but also Dallas Willard and John Ortberg, Ruth Haley Barton, Dr. John Coe, Larry Crabb. These are just some mentors up close and from a distance. And so soul basically is our life. It's our heart. It's the heart of a person. It's what makes us us. It's what makes you you, is your soul. It's the place in us where God is present to us. And to focus on our soul. So this is what soul care is. Just in a nutshell, to focus on our soul is to look at our life under the care and connection of God. And so it's why I love the term soul care more than self-care. And we could split hairs about that. I don't want to, build a camp around this terminology, but I love soul care because we are looking at areas of our life, sometimes that we're scared to look at or just places we're stuck, but we're doing it in the context of community, which is us with God. Versus self-care, which I don't know about you, I could tend to treat myself like a project and as something to be fixed versus a person to be related to. And so I know most of us really enjoy being related to versus treated like we're a project to be fixed. So that's a little bit about what soul care is. Soul care is looking at our life under the care and connection of God. And so we have, our soul impacts, a healthy soul impacts others. It impacts our relationship with God. It impacts the people we work with or that we minister to, and it actually impacts ourselves, is the health or the state of our soul. And so there's a story that John Ortberg tells in his book Soul Keeping about this beautiful mountain town in the Alps, and how there's a man, an old man, who for years, he lived on top of the mountain. He would tend to the stream that flowed down into the village. So he would make sure that all the debris was removed from the stream. And so by the time that the water reached the village, it was just clear and beautiful. It was a place where the children would come and play, and everybody would drink from this water. And so over time, people just forgot he was even there. And so they voted at a town council meeting to just cut budgets. And so they removed the man from his post, and it wasn't long before the stream started clouding up with debris and muddy, and it started to smell, and people started getting ill because the water wasn't clean. And he just made the point that the stream is our life, and we are the soul's keeper. And I would say that God's our soul's keeper. And are we willing to be open to allow him to tend to our soul? So, and the way that we do that is so many different ways. Like, by the time people reach my office, usually they're in a state of unhealthy soul, and they don't know how they got there. They don't know why they're there. They just know they need help and that something's off. So what is it to tend to our soul? And so there, oh my goodness, so many different ways to do that. But really it starts with an honesty and an openness about things in our life that keep the waters murky. And so what helps is to have like a spiritual director or a friend who asks really good questions. Just sit with us and ask us. Or we continue to read the Psalms in their honesty. Again, my professor, Dr. Coe, he's like, the Psalms or our prayer is a place to be honest, not good. And I think sometimes that we are scared to be brutally honest, but that's where movement towards healthy soul begins, is just some brutal honesty about where we are and perhaps what got us to that point. A lot of times we don't know, but it's a starting place. Honesty is always a good starting place. Okay, stay tuned next week for spiritual formation.